Jake faced off against newcomer Jordi Alonso in the round 16s to get here to the quarterfinals. He did have a bit of a bumpy start, but true to Jake's form, he came back in the 2 games. Let's take it down to the court. We are live at the 2015 Sonora Open between number 3 Jake Bredenbeck and number 6 Jaime Martell. All right, so far side out for both of these players. Score is still 0-0. Second serve for Jaime. And looks like the first point will go to Martell. Now, Liz, you're a racquetball player as well, correct?
Yes, I am.
And you've been playing since the age of 12?
Yes.
All right, so you're going to give us the insider look here as a pro.
I will try my best.
Wow, first big rally here of the morning between Bredenbeck and Martell. Looks like that's going to give a side out for Bredenbeck and his chance to get some points on the board. That's going to tie it up at 1-1 here in our quarterfinal match here this morning. Second serve for Jake. Now, is that a replay because it hit the netting
yes.
up there?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get a replay for Jake's serve. And an ace for Jake. Now, Liz, what would you say some of Jake's strengths are? I mean, we know he's a powerful player.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of shots and maybe some of his training, can you give us some insight? Insider insight?
Yeah, we know Jake's got a really powerful drive serve to the backhand. And when it's on, I mean, it's very difficult to get. And I think probably his pinches in front are one of his strengths for sure.
Ooh, behind the back. That's Jake's move. All right, that brings us to 3-1 here in our opening match this morning. This is game 1. All right, and a side out for Jaime Martell. Now, we did see Jaime as a semifinalist at the 2014 San Antonio Open, where he actually was the last time he faced Jake in a WRT. Jake ended up winning that match and taking it to the finals against Cardona. We've seen a strong finish from Martell in 2014. Jake looks frustrated with the ref, looking for a screen or a hinder. I'm still working on my sign language for ref calls. It's a point for Martell. Closing the gap here at 2-3 in game one of our first quarterfinal of the 2015 Sonora Open. All right, that'll tie it up at 3-3. Nice hustle from Jake. Another good rally between Jake and Jaime here this morning. Liz, you're nodding your head in approval.
Yes, I am.
Wow, nice pickup there from Jake. That'll put him in the lead here. Back in the lead in game one.
4-3.
Nice get there from Jaime Martell. The crowd liking that, giving him a nice little round of applause there. I think we're seeing a lot of consistency here so far from Martell.
Luis Carlos Rosas. Luis Carlos Rosas. Mesa de control, por favor.
Ooh, nice shot from Jake.
Point 5-3. Short.
Side out for Jaime.
35.
So far, a pretty evenly matched game one of our first quarterfinal match here this morning. 3 serving 5. And a quick side out for Bredenbeck.
5-3.
They'll get a replay, but they keep playing it out. Ooh, ooh. Do you know why they're calling a repeat, Liz? I'm not sure what.
Somewhere in the beginning of the rally, I know he called repeat, but they didn't stop. And I think called repeat again there at the end for Jake running into Jaime.
Point.
Like a misread there for Martell. Thought he was going right, and Jake went left.
Point. Time out.
All right, looks like Jaime's going to take a timeout. I think that means we're going to take a quick timeout too and take a look at what Martell had to say when we talked to him last night about facing off against Bredenbeck. Take a look. Okay, we're here with Jaime Martell, who's going to face Jake Bredenbeck in the quarterfinals. Jaime, you've been consistently making it here in the WRT tournaments to the quarterfinals and the semifinals. What's changed for you as a player, or how have you elevated your game?
Well, I think I changed a lot of my habits. I sleep better now. I'm training now. I'm doing weights. and I changed all my forehand, backhand. And I think that now it's working. Yeah.
And so you've also played Bredenbeck before. Last time you saw him was at the end of the season in the San Antonio semifinals. So what are you going to change going into facing Bredenbeck tomorrow?
Well, I'm trying to play good. I'm trying to do good serves now because the court is so slow. So I think it's good for me with my serves. Try to do good crack serves and stay focused all the match.
All right, and lastly, looking at the draw, who do you think has the biggest target on their back here?
Well, all the players are good, but I think the best player now is Alex Cardona. Is the current champion. Him or Polo, one of the two is the toughest players.
All right, well, we wish you luck tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Well, the question we were asking all the players, who has the biggest target on their back? Jaime says Polo or Cardona. So those would be the two big ones to watch here. But right now we got Jake Bredenbeck versus Jaime Martell. Looks like that timeout worked for Martell. Puts him back in the service box. Down by 4 right now, 3 serving 7. Nice shot from Martell.
4-7.
So one thing I see the players do out here a lot, Liz, is like self-talk. Like, how important is it? This is such an individual sport. Can you talk a little bit about the importance of, how do you keep yourself pumped out there?
Well, when you have a couple bad shots in a row, it's really hard to get back into it sometimes. So as long as you stay with it, stay focused, and really it's a big part is your mental game. So as long as you're staying on track and telling yourself, okay, this is what I'm going to do different on the next point, it's easier to get back into it after a couple of bad shots.
It's a lot of like self-coaching and kind of some mantras maybe you're repeating over to yourself. Okay, Martell back in the service box here, working on closing that gap.
Maritza Franco.
7-4.
Maritza Franco, mesa de control. Maritza Franco, mesa de control, por favor.
Ooh, there it is, signature Jake shot. Ooh. Yeah, that's some negative self-talk there from Martell, but that was another big rally here this morning between these two. I think we're seeing a lot of power from both players, a lot of gets. Pretty consistent. Looks like the frustration is getting to Martell. Needs some of that self-coaching, some positive things to go through his mind.
Mm-hmm.
Now that serve didn't look like it had that much power on it. Was there a little trick there?
Yeah, it was a little bit softer than his normal serve, so it wouldn't come off the back wall if Jaime waited for it. So you see there, he tried to go for it a little bit early and didn't end up getting it, but
A little tricky.
it would have died right before the back wall. So
Well, these players are going to take a little break, and so are we.
10-4.
And we're back here live in Game 1 of our first quarterfinal match this morning. Jake Bredenbeck serving and in the lead. Although Jaime won the side out, he looks pretty frustrated with that shot. Skip ball from Jake.
5-10.
It's going to make the score 5-10 here. Looks like we'll get a replay on that for hitting the ceiling or the netting on top.
the net on the side, yep.
Get a little review there from the ref. This is one of my favorite courts to come and watch here because they have the nice side glass, back glass, And it is interesting, though, how the court kind of cuts off there in the netting. So if there was wall there, I would assume they would have kept playing.
Yeah, they would keep playing.
Point.
Wow, and another ace from Jake Bredenbeck. I believe that's his at least second, maybe third. He had that soft touch before the timeout. Not sure if that's a timeout or an equipment change. I think Jake's getting a fresh glove.
Yep, something he goes through a lot.
Yeah, it's so funny to me. You know, I like to say I'm still new to racquetball. I mean, I am. And one of my favorite things is how all the guys have, like 15 gloves lined up on the side. And it's so incredible how fast you go through them. But I guess you're really gripping that racket.
A lot of the guys sweat more, so I only have like 2 gloves on my bag, but Jake's got like at least like 25, 30 gloves.
Yeah. All right, that's a side out for Jake. Side out here in game 1. All right, that'll be a point for Martell. 2 skips in a row for Bredenbeck. All right, that's 3 in a row here for Martell. Gonna make it 9-11 in game 1. And a big side out here for Bredenbeck. So we were talking earlier, Liz, about Jake's, kind of rough start here to the tournament. What do you think? Does he feel comfortable here in Hermosillo? Is it a court thing or?
A little bit of a court thing. He's also been kind of getting sick, so been taking some medicine for that. But the courts, he said something about they spin kind of quickly off the wall, but as soon as it hits the floor, it slows down. So it's a little bit harder to adjust to. But I think he did mention that this is one of his favorite places to play. I mean, other than, it slows down and had a rough start yesterday.
Yeah, that's such an interesting factor to note is how the different surfaces, the different walls, whether it's concrete or wood, all of that matters. And another factor I usually like to mention is the side glass wall and losing the ball in those corners.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of players just whiff one right off that side, especially when you lose the ball with all the people sitting down.
Big rally here between Bredenbeck and Martell. Great rally. Bredenbeck's going to win that side out. Crowd likes it. Ooh. Great shot from Bredenbeck. Bredenbeck now within 2 of taking game 1 here of our first quarterfinal match at the 2015 Sonora Open.
David Stone, iniciar juego, cancha número 2, por favor. David Stone.
All right, little fist pump there from Martell. That was a nice side out for him. I gotta say, these guys are in really great shape right now. Their cardio, they're running all over the court here.
They're both hitting some good shots, offensive shots.
Skip.
Bit of an unforced error there from Jaime.
Point.
And that's a point for Bredenbeck. That puts him at game point here in game 1. Short serve as Jake will serve again for the game.
Skip.
Skip ball from Bredenbeck. Both of them looking frustrated. If you didn't know what happened, you wouldn't be able to tell who won that point. This gives Jaime a chance to close the gap here.
9-14.
Skip for skip here, side out for side out. This will be Jake's second game point serve.
Skip.
And that's a skip ball. That means Jake Bredenbeck will take game 1 here at the 2014 Sonora Open. We're looking at the final score. It's 15-9. We'll be right back with game 2, so don't go anywhere. We got lots more racquetball for you here this morning at the WRT. And we're back live here at the top of game 2. We got the music pumping, getting the crowd riled up here at the 2015 Sonora Open in Hermosillo, Mexico. We have Jake Bredenbeck, who took game 1 15-9 against Jaime Martell. Saw some big rallies. We saw about 3 aces from Jake Bredenbeck. So far, it's been a great match. Liz, anything to note? You know, I know you're a little biased. I'm sure you're cheering for Jake here. So any analyzation you want to throw out there?
Yeah, we could tell Jaime at the beginning of game 1 was playing a little bit more offensive, making Jake play defensive. But at the end of the game, I think they were both playing very offensive, both taking their shots. So interesting to see how the second game starts.
Yeah, this should be really exciting. You know, both these guys are determined. They've faced off at least 3 times before, most recently closing out the 2014 season at the Alamo City Open in San Antonio, where Jake moved on to the finals. So here we are, game 2 of the quarterfinals. And that's going to mean first point goes to Jake Bredenbeck.
It's a nice pinch here in the front right corner, but it's hard for us to see.
Yeah, we got a bit of a curtain blocking us here from seeing that right corner. And another ace for Jake.
2-0.
Giving him an early 2-0 lead. Ooh. Nice shot there from Jake.
3-0.
see Jake serving a lot to the forehand drive serve, which normally you don't see, but maybe because of this glass, he's thinking it's to his advantage.
Right. The ball can get lost there in the corners.
Mm-hmm.
Jake with a big lead here so far in game 2. Much different start than we saw in game 1. Jaime's going to put a stop to that right here with a side out. Now, what do you think Jaime needs to capitalize on? You know, how does it feel? You're down 5-0. What's kind of going through your head as a player?
Well, he definitely needs to get some good shots. I mean, he needs to stay offensive. In the first game, that's what he was doing. He started skipping a few, but I think he needs to stay offensive. Otherwise, Jake's going to just put it away.
Nice shot there. Down the line, is that the right term, Liz?
Yep, down
yeah,
the line.
Oh, I got it.
Right on that glass.
Yeah, that was nice placement from Jaime. That'll give him a point. 1 serving 5. Like Jake answered back going down the line there and getting Martell on
Jaime
that
hitting
shot.
that side wall really gave Jake an advantage there to get over. Down the line would have been a little bit harder to get.
But they're going to get a hinder. We'll do a replay there. Jake with a 5-point lead here in game 2. Signature move there from Jake, one of my favorites. And another point for Bredenbeck.
7-1.
Looking pretty comfortable here in game 2. And I think that's one thing that we see a lot from Jake, is he kind of just like takes off at a certain point in some of these matches.
Yep, gets started and then he'll just gets his rhythm in there and starts making all the shots. Definitely nice to see. I can not worry as much.
You can relax a little bit. So then to analyze it on the flip side, you know, what are some things that a competitor can do to throw Jake out of his rhythm? Is it slowing down the tempo, you know?
Yep, definitely slowing down the tempo. Jake likes to hit it really hard. You know, maybe sometimes slowing down the game a little bit, hitting softer shots, making him run to the backcourt, taking timeouts, holding your racket up, get an extra 10 seconds there. Especially if Jake's on a roll with serves or something.
A little
Taking
bit of
some
strategy
time,
there,
yeah.
Nice soft touch from Jake. Nice get from Martell. And a pretty long rally there. This guy's looking a little winded at that last rally, but
Leaving a couple of those balls up they could have put away, but
yeah. Nice point for Martell. Nice effort from Martell there, just short. We haven't seen Jake climb any walls yet in this match, though.
no, not yet. Hasn't needed to.
Another big side out there for Martell. Looks like he's going to take a timeout. I think that means we're going to take a look at what Jake Bredenbeck had to say. We talked to him last night after round 16. Let's hear what he had to say about the Sonora Open. Okay, so we're here with Jake Bredenbeck. And Jake, you had a bit of a shaky start here at the Sonora Open against Jordi Alonso to get to the quarterfinals. Can you talk a little bit about that match?
Yeah, it wasn't the best way to start out the tournament. He was serving very well in the first game. Didn't miss any shots, I don't think, and I was just little slow to get out of the gate, but then second game I kind of got my stuff together, started moving my feet a little bit better, and just I played better in the second game in tiebreaker. So after the first game, it ended up okay, but yeah, first game was a little rough.
And so tomorrow you play Jaime Martell in the quarters, and the last time you faced him was in the semifinals in San Antonio at the end of the year. How does it feel to be facing him again at the first tournament of the season?
It's cool. This will be, I think, the third time that I've played Jaime, so it'll be good. He's always a tough player. He's got good serve. He's a smart player, gets to a lot of balls, so should be a good match, but I'm excited to play him again.
And looking at the draw, who do you think has the biggest target on their back?
I don't know. I'd say Polo because he's number one. Not by much. I know Cardona's really close, so one of those two guys because generally they're in the finals and because they're 1 and 2.
So lastly, do you feel any kind of added pressure? You know, looking at the WRT rankings right now, it's Polo, Cardona, and you. And depending on what happens here this weekend, that could all change because you guys are so close. How do you feel about that?
Don't think about it that much. I mean, for me, it's just another tournament. You go out and play. Obviously, I want to win the tournament. That's what I'm here to do. If I happen to take over number one doing that, that's awesome. But there's more. There's another tournament next week, so just got to keep playing and keep going. So.
Okay, well, thank you, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
And we're back here live in Game 2 of our first quarterfinal match here this morning between Jake Bredenbeck and Jaime Martell. 2 serving 8. So now, Liz, have you been to Hermosillo before?
I have not. This is my first time.
And what do you think so far of your experience here?
It's nicer than places I've been in Mexico before. My grandma's from Mexico, so I go to visit her sometimes, and definitely a little bit nicer down here.
Yeah, and they call this the City of Lights when we were coming in. We get this beautiful view between the mountains.
Easy to get lost here.
Yeah.
Hard to see street signs.
10-2.
That takes us to 10-2 here in Game 2. Skip from Bredenbeck. And from what I've heard from talking to the players, you know, playing here at the Sonora Open is one of their favorite events, and the people in Hermosillo are so nice. And this is a great club here at the All Fitness Gym. It's been a great time so far.
See Jaime trying to get a soft touch there on Jake, but Jake got to it.
10-2.
Yeah, Jaime getting really frustrated. I'm not sure if he has any timeouts left. I believe he does. Looks like he doesn't need it. There's a side out for Martell. And there's a point. Still looking a little frustrated with himself there in his self-talk. Martell in the service box, but see what else he can do up here. Nice get from Martell. Tough dives there for Martell as Jake put a little bit of a different spin to win that point, win that side out, excuse me.
It's one thing they've got to do a lot when Jake's on the court is always wipe it down.
Yeah. Don't forget, for you viewers at home, you can check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/World Racquetball. And you can watch all of our past matches and interviews and fun videos that we put together for you guys at youtube.com/World Racquetball. Side out for Martell. think that's the first ace for Jaime. Ball kind of just died in that back corner there.
Yep. Get one on the board for Jaime.
Game. 10 out.
Looks like Bredenbeck's going to take a timeout. Score right now is 10 for Bredenbeck, 4 for Martell. We're going to keep it right here. And I guess I'll take this moment to shamelessly tell all of our fans that we love to hear from you. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can stay on top of all our latest videos. Hit us up on Facebook. We love hearing from our fans. We also, usually on Facebook, every other Monday we post our Monday giveaway. That's an opportunity for you as a fan to win some free stuff. Usually it's some Gearbox stuff, some WRT tournament shirts. We've given away sweatshirts, Vision Wear, tournament t-shirts, signed t-shirts. So make sure you guys check it out. Ooh, some feedback there. And actually, you guys still have a chance to enter our latest Monday giveaway for the Sonora Open. We haven't announced our winner yet, so if you go to YouTube and subscribe and go ahead and leave a comment on that video as well, then you'll win a chance to win Cardona's Red Vision eyewear. So go ahead and check out the video. It's on YouTube, it's on Facebook. Enter to win, and you get your free stuff. Pretty great promo. Here we go. We have Martell serving in game 2, 4-10. Tight there in that corner.
Yeah. Nice lucky shot there by Jake.
He'll take it. That's a side out. There's a point for Bredenbeck. The score is 11-6. A little unsure of the score. Ref saying 6. I believe the score is 6 serving 11. Get a second serve for Martell. And a point for Jaime. That's going to make the score 7 serving 11 here in game 2. Martell chipping away in game 2. Get a second serve. And another point for Martell. That's 3 in a row here for Martell. A quick 3, he's closing that gap now within 2 of Bredenbeck here in game 2.
This is when I start to get a little nervous. Jaime starts catching up here.
Now he did the exact same thing in game 1. At 6, he closed the gap to 9-11. So a little pattern here from Martell in game 2, or in this overall match, I guess. All right, that's going to make it 4 in a row for Martell. 10 serving 11. One thing to note, it's just how quickly the momentum can change. And, you could go from 10-2 to 10-11 on the flip side. Tying it up at 11-11, a 5-point run. What do you think's going through Jake's head right now, Liz?
I'm not sure.
Needs to get out of it, I'm
definitely
sure.
needs to get some points back here. Needs to get into that service box.
My nerves are a little high here in the commentator's box.
Yeah.
And an unforced error from Jaime. That's going to give Bredenbeck the opportunity I'm sure he was looking for. And a big ace from Bredenbeck. That brings his total here to 5 aces so far this match. That's 2 alone in game 2. I think that's the confidence he's looking here to shake Martell a little bit. Looks like both these guys taking a little bit of time, wiping the court. Looks like Jaime is going to try to break that rhythm with a timeout here. Then we're back live in game 2. Jaime Martell coming back from a timeout after his 5-point lead. Score right now is 12-11. And a side out for Martell. Looks like that timeout worked for him. And a point for Jaime, tying it up here in game 2 at 12-12. Jake's going to put a stop to that.
Jake needs to get some points here.
Nerves are still high for Liz and Jake. Looks like he gets that point.
All right.
Really turning on the serves here. Another ace for Bredenbeck. That's going to make it match point for Bredenbeck here. Like we're wiping down the court, got the crowd cheering here. Match point for Bredenbeck. And a skip, that means Jake Bredenbeck's going to take the match here. That's our first quarterfinal here this morning at the 2015 Sonora Open. So just to wrap up the summary here, we had a score of 15-9 in the first game, 15-12 in the second game. Jake Bredenbeck will then move on to the semifinals. We saw really high competition. Nice point runs from Jaime, but Jake just capitalizing on it, really getting into his comfort zone. Liz, any final thoughts on that match? How does it feel to be on camera and watching Jake out there?
Well, I'm definitely a happy commentator right now. Expected to see a little bit more fight at the end for those last few points, but Jake just had some good serves. So.
Yeah, Jake with a total of 6 aces, 3 and 3 in each game. So just some great serving from Jake. That's going to wrap up our first quarterfinal match here this morning. Stick around. We have more racquetball for you guys all weekend. Our next match is going to be between Andre Perea and Alex Cardona. So don't go anywhere. We got more racquetball for you. Keep it here 10 minutes. We'll be back with our second quarterfinal. Thanks for watching. I'm Laura McCormick. Joining me this morning was Liz Simmons. Thanks, Liz.
No problem.
All right, we'll see you guys soon.